The SJ Pour Challenge for New Zealand is going to be extremely interesting. There are some extremely talented brewers, talented home brewers that are putting in some beers. Steve, I'll work out whether you're one of them. Happy Homebrew Wednesday! Got a beer. Got some more beer mail today. Actually, I'll take you to a shot of when I got the message and went wandering off down the letterbox to find it. In the meantime, it's been sitting in the freezer, chilling. So I'll go get it while you watch me bunker off to the letterbox. Alrighty, got a message. Left you a beer in your mailbox. Hope it arrives safely. Cheers. Let's go have a look. Right. It's dark. There we shine some light in the situation. There we are. Oh, look at that! There is a beer. What does that say? What does that say? Hey Paul, heard the missus was away. Enjoy this, Steve. Ah. Cheers, mate. I'll grab it. I'm going to have it now. Cheers, Steve. Much appreciated having a beer dropped off in the old letterbox. This is a APA, Steve's APA, and 7.5%, if I remember rightly. But yeah, ooh, yeah, it's nice and cool now. Time to crack into it. I'm wearing this silicone tube. It's fashionable silicone tube, because I can. This is thicker wall tube, and I can finish off my counterflow now. Yay! Just been waiting for some more tube to turn up. So all those people that have been patiently waiting for me to get my arse in the gear and get the counterflow chiller video up, I'm still getting there. Tube now. Thanks to Carl from All Grain Brewing Supplies for all your brewing needs. Right, a glass. Let's crack into this APA from Steve. Amazing, Carl. Look at that. Wow, that is so cool. Let's have a look at the lacing here. Oh, there's a little bit of diacetyl on that. There's a little bit of butterscotch floating through there. But hey, it's okay. Sort of hides with the hops, but you can sort of start to pick it out. I'm starting to get quite susceptible to diacetyl and acetaldehyde actually. Starting to get training my palate to pick them out, because I've got so many beers that have got diacetyl and acetaldehyde in it. I know what it tastes like and smells like. It's got an interesting malt flavour in there. The malt is just coming up and fighting a little bit with the hops. So there's some nice hop flavour in there. There's a little bit of lychee flavour in there. A little bit of stone fruit, little tiny bit of stone fruit. There's not, maybe a touch of lemon. No, not a lot of citrusy sort of flavours in there. They're more sort of like the stony fruits. And the malt is sort of coming up and going, hey, I'm here, and the hops are sort of pushing it down just a little bit, and it's like there's just a little bit of a struggle in the balance of power between the hop and the malt flavour. But it drinks rather well. So maybe, I don't know whether this has got a little bit of age on it, because I have noticed that some of the IPAs that I have done in the past, fresh, dry hop to buggery, you can't detect the diacetyl in it. But then as the dry hopping starts to drop back, which this one possibly has, it's just dropped back a little bit, that diacetyl starts to come back up. So, which is really a bugger, eh? Because you taste the beer after it's been dry hopped and you go, fuck, it's a winner. Boom! You bottle it up and you drink it and you drink it, and then you start to share some bottles around and it starts to drop down and the diacetyl comes up and you go, oh, stink, bro, stink. But hey, they're still good. We all do it, so it don't matter. Best thing to do is to get the diacetyl out in your fermenting. So up your diacetyl rest a little bit longer or a little bit higher. Maybe take it up to 22, 23 degrees at the end before racking off into secondary. I heard somewhere that you can, if you agitate up the primary, it helps reduce diacetyl as well, because the enzyme that's in the yeast or whatever, the leftover that starts to eat away and get rid of that diacetyl, there's more surface area if it's agitated a little bit, but then that introduces a higher risk of acetaldehyde and stuff like that. But we can never win, can we? Other than that, it's a good beer. Got some books. Got some more beer mail. I got the American sour beers. Hey. Got it before you, Dan. Don't know why. Hey, this is just how things happen sometimes. Cool. I won't tell you what happens at the end. And they all walked off with their exquisite lambics and lived happily ever after. It is a happy ending. I'm looking forward to cracking into this book and learning more about sour beers. After brewing 100% Brett with Kerry Gray, which I've actually bottled up and we're going to do some tasting of that very soon. And Dan ABA from Vegas, who fired me over one of his sour beers. I'm looking forward to sitting down and doing some tastings of them. Which Kerry I'll do with you, so I'll bring Dan's beer along, Kerry, so that we can drink it together. You'll just have to be on camera. But I'm very keen to get cracking into sour beers. The other beer book that I got, Designing Great Beers, because I didn't have it and I needed it. Need to design some great beers. Need to deconstruct some great beers and clone them. So what better way than learning how to design them from scratch? But yeah, this was highly recommended by Tony Yates and a lot of other brew tubers. So cracked into that as well. Speaking of designing great beers, Baylands Brewery. I've done it again. Last weekend I went to the SOBA Winter Ale Festival, which is an annual festival that is held in the winter time by SOBA, the Society of Beer Advocates. So it's great. It's a Wellington-based festival attracting breweries from around New Zealand to showcase their new beers and or design something new and different and interesting along the the winter warmer sort of ale or stout sort of genre, or high ABV, just so that you don't feel the cold. And there were lots of great beers there. Baylands Brewery put in a sweet stout, 7%, I do recall, I think it was 7%, blackberries in it, and Doris plums. Fuck, of course they're going to win. So they won the People's Choice. Well done Aidan, well done Steve, and well done to the Bayland babes, Kim and Nikki. Good stuff. Right, here's a little bit of the Winter Ale Festival.
So we've got winter jerseys here and a t-shirt. Got the front. There's Nicky.
You like a Suddenly Front, would you?
I have a cold face.
Oh, you want a cold face?
Cold face.
Just a half pint, sir?
Yeah, just a half pint, thank you.
Alright. The tap just keeps on pouring.
Right into the camera. Oh no!
Oh, did he say each other? Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh! It smells like yogurt, it tastes like yogurt. I don't like yogurt. Huh? What's it got, chicks?
Yum! Yum! Fuck, best beer!
Well, you know, New Zealand's New Zealand.
Oh yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Boom. To the people in the States, I'm coming. I got some tickets organised. Yep. Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy. I am going to the Great American Beer Festival in Denver in October. I will be going along there with Mike from Panhead Brewery, Panhead Custom Ales. Also, I think he's dragging Joe from Liberty Brewing in Auckland. I was nearly going to say Taranaki. But yeah, Joe from Liberty. He might be coming along as well. Two great brewers and just a humble little home brewer that drinks their beer. We'll be at the Great American Beer Festival. Looking forward to that. I will be landing earlier than that because I've got some places to go and some people to see and some brew days to do. So, if you are in the States and you are planning on heading to Denver for the Great American Beer Festival, or you are in Denver, Colorado Fly Fisherman, BH Brewing, come and see me. Let's hook up, let's do a video, let's have a beer, or 2, or 3, or 10. I will be there for all 3 days of the festival. Okay, SJ Pour scoring. The SJ Pour scoring went live, and there's some little tiny weeny little bugs. A couple of people are using Firefox, a couple of people are using Windows, I don't know why. Use a Mac. But yeah, there's some little browser issues here and there, and bear with while we try and tidy them up. We did some testing before we pushed it out there, and we thought that we'd picked up all the bugs, but there are a couple for some edge cases that have crept through. So we will address those because obviously the US have their beers and they're tasting them, and the votes are starting to pour in, apart from a couple of people that can't click on things. But hey, we'll sort it out. So watch this space because more videos will be coming out. Well, not this space, but the YouTube spaces of all the other people, because I'm not going to put other people's videos on my channel. They're going to be on their channel about their reviews. So do a search for SJ Pour Challenge 2014 and you'll start to see those reviews coming through. Now each review should have the code number, the registration number for the beer on it, so you'll be able to find all the same ones and watch all the same sort of reviews. There's a little bit of discussion about the reviews at the moment, like don't show too much information. Talk about the beer, the taste, what you sort of picked up on, but don't sort of disclose your score if this beer hasn't finished being scored yet, because you don't want to influence anybody else. In saying that, if you are an SJ Pour beer recipient, don't watch the video reviews for a beer that you haven't scored yet so that you don't influence yourself. That makes more sense. Yeah. You don't want to take somebody else's comments as your own. We want your own comments, because your comments as a beer reviewer are important. Your unique, subjective point of view is what matters. Just like this one. It's got diacetyl in it, Steve. But hey, it's okay. We move on. You'll forgive me for saying that. Anyway, that's enough from me. I've got stuff to do. Better get cracking. Cheers. Have yourself another one.